It's time to look back at the 2023 women's tournament, which saw teams chase for a perfect season and at the Final Four in a tournament that seemed to always keep us guessing just when we thought we figured it out. Wayne, what stood out to you?
Yeah, this really was a tournament that threw us curveballs when we least expected it. Wins by one 11 seed and two 12 seeds kept the overall bracket rather intact, but then the surprises really took over. Not one, but two number one seeds fell on their home courts in the second round, Miami beating Indiana and Ole Miss upsetting Stanford.
How did the brackets deal with all of that in our bracket challenge game?
So even with only one upset that first day, number 11 Mississippi State defeating number 6 Creighton 1 year after the Blue Jays reached the Elite Eight as a 10 seed, only 1% of brackets remain perfect out of the few million we started out with across the major online games. Again, this is just another example where even if there's only one major upset plus two wins by two 10 seeds, you're still going to see almost every bracket bust. Again, this really is not easy.
No, it's not. How much longer did perfect brackets stay alive?
Rather impressively, even with wins by those 12 seeds, Florida Gulf Coast and Toledo, we still had seven brackets safely through the first round. Although they kept getting picked off from there, with Ole Miss knocking out the last two on game number 40. That marked the first time since 2007 that the Cardinal failed to reach the Sweet 16. An Indiana setback meant that two number one seeds failed to reach the Sweet 16 for the first time since 1998. And that was the famous year where number 16 Harvard beat number one Stanford, or I guess maybe infamous is a better word to use if you're a fan.
And those upset losses by Stanford and Indiana seemed to open up the bracket a bit. And they did just that. Number 5, Louisville, and number 9, Miami reached the Elite Eight. And number 2, UConn, which battled injuries all season long, lost to Ohio State in the Sweet 16, meaning the Huskies would not be in the Final Four for the first time since 2007. But in the end, we did get the other two number 1 seeds, undefeated South Carolina and Virginia Tech, plus LSU and Iowa in the Final Four. But things didn't settle down then either, did they?
No, not at all, which made for some really thrilling games. Dallas gave us a really memorable Final Four, with Caitlin Clark scoring 41 points to stun the unbeaten Gamecocks and LSU beating Virginia Tech in the other semifinal. So again, that left us with no more number one seeds. Then we got to enjoy the crazy entertaining title game between LSU and Iowa, a matchup of two programs trying to win their first national championship. Clark did score 30, but LSU had Jasmine Carson and Angel Reese and others to outscore the Hawkeyes 102 to 85. That meant LSU tied the record for the lowest seed, number 3, to win the national championship, joining 94 UNC and 97 Tennessee.